Today we're going to be changing two big water filters. This is an elaborate system that most people do not put in. I have two filter systems, one for the cold water, one going for the hot water. And I change the filters every 3 months. But we put the hot water filter, we reuse the hot water filter because it's not used very well. So here's the parts you're going to need. The only thing you're going to need is one new water filter. One new water filter and your pipe wrench, and that's all you're going to need. Maybe a glass of green tea. Green tea will keep you calm while you're doing all this. I always recommend people drink green tea. Now, this is a long video, I realize that, for just changing water filters, but this system is designed to keep an electric water heater clean of any debris from a well water, from anybody who has a well water. So this whole system is designed for somebody who has well water and they have an electric hot water heater. So that's why we have two filters. These are the two biggest filters you can buy at stores like Home Depot and the other Lowe's. So here's how you do it. All you have to do is turn to the left. To loosen this up, we go to the left. We use our wrench. Now, when they've been on for 3 months, they can be pretty tight, and that's why you've got to make sure you don't break any of your pipes. Put your hand up at the top of the unit so you don't break any pipes. Now, before we change the filter, we're going to turn the water off. This is the main water valve coming to your filter. All you do is turn this off. Now, you're wondering why this filter is so dirty. Because we just had our water well drilled deeper and a lot of iron came popping out. So that's why that water filter is so dirty. Now, this is the hot water heater filter, which is really just a secondary filter. And that's why it doesn't get so dirty after 3 months. That's why this system is so unique and so efficient. And I wanted to show it to you. So this is how we loosen up the filter. Remember, this is the hot water, the filter going in before the hot water heater. And again, this is after 3 months of use and it's not even dirty. So we're going to use this. We're going to put this filter over on the cold side, which is the primary filter. This is an ingenious system. And I want to share this with you because it's a do-it-yourself. It's a do-it-yourself project. So this is how you loosen up the filter to change it. Remember, we've turned the water off first, and you notice we got a pan underneath the filter. We've got a pan to catch the water. This is all common sense. You use two hands. You take this off. The reason why you use two hands, because that filter is heavy when it's got water in it. You try to take it off with one hand, it's going to fall down and break. So put two hands on it, and then gently put it down into the bowl. Two hands, gently put it down in the bowl, and there you go. So remember, this is the filter that was going to the hot water heater. It's basically a secondary filter, and it did not get too dirty after 3 months. So we're going to take this one and put it over on the first filter, which comes in from the cold water, the first primary filter, and we're going to use it again for another 3 months because we don't want to waste. You do not want to waste in a world today. So this is the secondary filter. Now this is the primary filter. This comes in from the cold side. It catches most of all the dirt. So what we're going to do is take this filter here and put it in here. There you go. And we're going to take this filter and throw it away. It's that simple. I know it's a long video, but I'm going to try to. And so this is the primary filter, and you see how dirty it can get. It mainly they don't get this dirty. You don't want to wait till it gets this dirty. But like I said, we just had a water well drilled deeper, and a lot more dirt came in, so it will not be this dirty next time. So, but these are very good filters. They have carbon rocks inside there. And these are the best filters you can get for do-it-yourself people, do-it-yourself projects. And you, like I say, we're going to change these filters every 3 months. We're going to rotate. We're going to rotate them every 3 months. Hot water heater to the cold side. Now again, see how dirty this is? You've got to clean these casings out before you put the new filters in. You've got to take soap and water, make sure you clean them out really, really good. So that's a new filter. The new filter is going in the secondary spot, which goes to the hot water heater. That's a brand new filter. And the one that was in that spot for 3 months, it was there for 3 months. It's this one. It's now going over here to the primary cold water side, the first filter coming in. So we're just rotating. We're just rotating that one over to here, and we're throwing this one away. And what it does is it saves you money. You don't have to, instead of changing 2 filters, you're saving half the money, because we're not going to throw away a perfectly good filter. We're just going to rotate it over to the cold side. So again, the brand new filter goes here, which that goes to the hot water heater. And then this one, which used to be in there for 3 months, it's going to go over here. And it's going to be the primary filter, which is going to catch most of all the sediment and dirt. The good thing about having 2 filters coming into your house is your well water is very well filtered. And when and if you take the water from the hot side, it's been filtered twice, you can drink that water pretty safely. These filters are they're very good filters with carbon inside of them. And if you filter well water twice through here, I would feel pretty safe drinking the water. Now again, okay, so we've taken that filter. This is the used filter we used for 3 months on the hot side. We're going to put it in here. You got to make sure your gaskets are nice and firm and in place. Now you see this gasket. This is kind of important. This gasket, it sits in a little groove. It's good to check and make sure this gasket is perfectly in its groove before you screw the casing back in, because if this gasket is a little off, you'll have a leak. So what you do is you just rub your hand all around the corners, on the outside of the corner and on the inside of the corner. You rub your hand around there and you make sure that it's in there perfectly before you screw it in. Now I say, we're going to go ahead and put this filter inside of here. Like, we're just going to put this as the primary filter going into the cold side. All we do is twist it in hand tight, as I'm doing. You'll see this. It twists in hand tight, and you do this until it's tightened as much as you can with your hand. Sometimes it helps to grab it from the bottom. So now you got it in there pretty tight. Now you use your special wrench that comes with these filters, and then you just tighten them up. Now you don't have to tighten it too tight. Just remember, this is plastic. This is plastic material. If you start being Mr. He-Man and tighten these too much, you will break them and crack them. So snug and then a little bit more. So now we're going back over to the hot side. This is the brand new filter. Remember, we're going to put the brand new filter on the hot side. And it's basically a secondary. I've been calling it a secondary filter because, remember, the water's already being filtered over on the primary side. And then, okay, I'm not going to show you how we put that back in there because it's simple. So we put that filter in the hot side, and you see now this is the line, that's the primary filter. And now we're going to turn on the main water, and as you see, you turn on the main water, look at that, this is the main primary filter, and it catches all the big sediment. It catches all the junk, the primary filter. This one will get dirty quickly in 3 months, as we saw before. So this primary filter, which is the main cold water coming in, that's going to catch most of the junk, this primary filter. Okay, so then here's how it's going to work. I'm going to show you how it works. The line that's the cold water coming in, the main water coming in, it's cold. It goes up through the primary filter, it comes down. Now right here is a T. That goes to the cold water. So the cold water is only being filtered once. Now the line keeps on going, and then all this is a loop over to the hot water side. Now this is a secondary filter, and why this is so important, it's a secondary filter before you get to the electric hot water heater. And electric hot water heaters are very critical. You cannot get any dirt or sediment and grime and rocks in there. So that's why a secondary filter is so ingenious if you've got yourself an electric water heater. Now there's the last things we're going to do. I realize we're getting old, and sometimes after 3 months we forget how to loosen these. So I think it's best to put down an arrow, and believe me, it's kind of hard to write when you got a camera in your left hand. Try it. So we put that on there, and then come 3 months from now, you're not going to forget which way to turn it. The last thing we do is we write down on a piece of paper when we change the filter. Again, we're getting old, and we put this down the middle of May, and then you don't have to change the filters again for 3 months. And remember, you only buy one filter. We don't buy two filters. We buy one because we're using a secondary filter because it never gets dirty for 3 months. This is an ingenious idea. You need to incorporate it in your well water system.